Heidi and Frank show. Could you give up your stuff? And if you did give up your stuff, do you think it'd make you happier? You'd have less stress, less worry about losing your stuff. I guess if you chose to give it up, you wouldn't worry about losing it. We have Joshua Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, the Minimalists. Get these guys in here.
Yes, we have so many things we want to ask
I was right.
Oh, hey guys.
We got one hippie. How you doing, man? What's your name?
I'm a hugger, man.
Oh, you're a hugger.
Oh, I'm a hugger too.
Joshua.
Hey, Joshua. Nice to meet you too. Ryan,
Joshua and Ryan. I'm Frank. That's Heidi over there. Very interesting. Obviously, this is America. So, are you guys the only guys who are doing this by choice? It seems like we are a consumer nation, where it's like we just have to have more and more and more and more and more and more, and for the actual thought process to go, you know what? I'm going to go the other direction and give up stuff. Is that what it's all about?
I think that's the initial bite at the apple. Like, the stuff was initially the thing that I looked at in my life and realized I was overwhelmed by it. You know, I'm 32 now. When I was 27, I was the youngest director in my company's 140-year history. I was living the American dream. I had the big house, the six-figure income.
The great hair.
I kept the hair.
Yeah, you can't give up the hair.
You didn't give that up.
Not yet. I'll keep it as long as
Every minimalist has to have great hair. That's part of the rules.
You know, but two events actually happened in my life. My mom died, my marriage ended, both in the same month. And I started looking around like, oh my God, what have I been focusing on my entire life?
No, wait. Did you said your wife left you?
But yeah, my marriage ended, so it was. I mean.
So really, she took all your stuff. There was no choice here about you getting rid of your own stuff.
Forced minimalism.
Hey, look, she took it all. I'm a minimalist.
I have a chair and a fork, and I'm fine.
If you get it, if you want to get rid of half of your stuff,
that's the way to start.
First step, right? Very, very easy. You know, but I really looked around at like my mother dying and my marriage ending. I realized I wasn't focusing on what was actually important in my life. I was focused on promotions and spending time with clients and accumulating more material possessions I thought were going to make me happy, and they weren't making me happy.
Yeah, it's like it's too bad that you had to have a tragedy in your life to realize that life is short and you might be wasting a lot of it in these, like you said, meetings with clients and always pursuing the next thing as opposed to being in the moment and enjoying the thing that you have right now.
What about you, Ryan? Like, when did you decide? Because his mom died and the wife left. When did you decide enough of all this stuff?
Yeah, so we both worked at the same corporation side by side throughout our 20s, like both climbing the corporate ladder. And it's really funny. Like, if you were to tell my 18-year-old self what my 28-year-old self was going to have, I would have been like the most excited 18-year-old. Like, I'm going to be so happy having all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had, like, buying a new car every couple of years, had a nice, like, 2,000 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo. It even had 2 living rooms. I have no idea why a single guy needs 2 living rooms.
Well, he had a cat, so maybe that.
So, I was, like, living the American dream, but I was working 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week to maintain it all. And, I was just looking at the current life that I had. I was looking at my bosses and how miserable my bosses were, and I thought, holy crap, like, if I keep going down this road, one day maybe I can be just as miserable as those guys. And I just didn't know what was important anymore. And I saw this significant difference in Josh's attitude. His mom had passed away, his marriage ended. He was just as miserable as me working at the same company, and he was all of a sudden happier. And I'm like, dude, did they put you on some antidepressants or something?
Right.
Like, why are you so happy? And he's like, well, there's this thing called minimalism, and I've been kind of getting some stuff out of the way and clearing the clutter to make room for what's truly important. And I knew he wasn't crazy because we've been best friends since we were like fat little 5th graders.
Yeah,
and I
love that.
And I thought to myself, I know he's not nuts. I'm gonna hear him out, and maybe this is something that'll work for me as well.
So this goes beyond spring cleaning. I mean, people are going through their garages right now and saying, "Oh, we don't need this, and let's take this all down to the Goodwill Salvation Army." But this goes beyond that. This is extreme. So when you decide, I'm going to be a minimalist, what's the first thing that I should get rid of or have to do?
For me, it was about just getting rid of something. The spring cleaning is actually a great first step. A lot of people are just so attached to the things. I had so much sentimental value in my things. I gave so much meaning to the things. I got rid of one thing a day for 30 days just to prove that, okay, I can let go of
That seems doable.
It's very doable.
So you're not like packing it all up in one day going, oh my God, I've 40 trash bags of stuff that I thought was important. So that seems doable.
Yeah, I think getting some momentum is really important. I wish I would have done what Ryan did, which was a lot more.
Burn his house down. Everything in it. Just start from scratch.
Yeah. I just rented a dumpster and threw everything. No, for me, it started with a packing party. So I think Josh's idea was packing, and my idea was probably the party part.
Yeah.
But you put the party at the end of anything, and it sounds fun. But I literally packed everything in my 2,000 square foot condo, packed it up as if I were moving, and then I unpacked things as I needed it day by day. So Josh literally helped me box up my clothes, my kitchenware, my electronics, my TVs, my toiletries, my frame photographs and painting. I mean, everything. We literally pretended like I was moving. So I unpacked things day by day for 21 days as I needed it. And you can imagine that first night, I unpacked my toothbrush, my bed sheets, and as time went on, I unpacked, a tool set, some kitchenware, the furniture I actually used. And after that 3-week experiment, I had 80% of my stuff still sitting in boxes, just sitting there, just boxes stacked on boxes, stacked on top of boxes. And that was really my light bulb moment where I was like, holy cow, here's all this stuff that I've bought over the last decade to make me happy, and it's obviously not doing its job. So I went to Josh, and I'm like, dude, this actually makes sense, man. I think people will connect with this story, people who try to buy a bunch of crap to be happy. And that's where really the Minimalists.com started, was with that 21-day packing story.
So it's different for everybody, right? Some people say, oh, my house is decorated very minimalistically. So it's or you could not have a lot of clothes.
I consider that no houseplants.
Well, that's like you said. It's probably, what do you need? What do you need?
No magazines laying out.
You sit in the same chair every night. Really, all you need is that chair, and maybe your TV. But other than that, you don't really need a house full of furniture necessarily.
Like Ryan, I had 2 living rooms, and it was really hard for me to sit in both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
But I realized when Ryan did the packing party and donated or sold 80% of his stuff, it was like this light bulb for me as well, because I had done something similar. I was living with much less, but it made room for what was actually important.
Are you guys living together now?
Yeah, we
live. Yeah, we live in Montana.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. Do you live in a teepee or something?
No, it's funny. If you came to our apartment, you wouldn't think you
have bunk beds.
These guys, hey. These guys are minimalists. You'd probably think these guys are really tidy. But no, we've
that's what I was going to ask you. You're obviously not into clutter.
No, right? Yeah, no. We've got 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, a kitchen with a table in it, and our living.
So how far away are you guys from just being mountain men?
Pretty far, actually. Like I said, I think
Ryan could pass as a mountain man.
I'm tired of all these stereotypes.
Joshua.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. We live very normal lives, and that was the thing that was really appealing to me about minimalism. Was when I first saw it, I saw this young guy named Colin Wright. He was this young entrepreneur. He traveled all over the world, and everything he owned was in a backpack. And I'm like, well, that's really extreme.
He owned 50 things. I was like, dude, that's crazy.
But then there were families. There's a guy named Joshua Becker who had a house in the suburbs and 2 kids and a wife, and a guy named Leo who lives up in San Francisco who has 6 kids, and he's a minimalist. And all these different people
not in the kid department. He's not.
He needs to stock up on some condoms. Maybe have a lot more.
Yeah,
of those.
Stop being so minimalistic with his condoms.
Right. You shed all your things except the condoms.
Right.
No, but I found that all these people led considerably different lives, but they all were minimalist, and everything they owned added value to their lives, served a purpose, or brought them joy, and everying else they got out of the way. And I said, well, I could do that.
Is minimalist also being, I guess, frugal? You could say Heidi's mother was a minimalist because she wouldn't let her have a name brand jeans, or so she would go down to the thrift shop and get her a sweater, and then cut off an alligator on another sweater and put it on that sweater to fake an eyes on.
I suppose there are minimalists out there who are really frugal, but I never forsake quality over quantity.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, we make less money than we make now, but it's
but you're saving a lot more.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And if this book goes well and we become millionaires, that's okay too. We're not allergic to money.
What do chicks think? When you get these women like the gold diggers out there, women like to obviously have someone who's going to take care of them and be able to support them. That's a good thing, that a quality that a guy could have.
Yeah.
So when you meet women, you're like, I'm a minimalist. Is it? Are they like, oh?
I don't think I've ever announced that I'm a minimalist to anyone that I meet. neat.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about the people you have in your lives. I mean,
I'll take half a beer.
I mean, whether
I
don't need it all.
well, I mean, whether you're a minimalist or not, I mean, the people you bring into your life, whether it's a romantic relationship or whether it's a friendship or whatever it may be, I mean, you should always be hanging out with people who have the same values and beliefs. So that's what I do now. Is I'm very deliberate, and that's really what minimalism is about. It's about living deliberately. So every choice that I make, every relationship, every item, every dollar I spend, every piece of time, I'm not perfect, obviously, but I do constantly ask the question, is this adding value? Am I being deliberate with this decision?
Mm-hmm.
Is this okay? Is this fall in the same category as people going, I'm going vegan, and now they're vegan for a while, then they go back to eating fish and meat, where it's like maybe you guys are in a phase of minimalism as life moves on and changes. You're like, you know what, we could have another living room.
Right. Yeah, I think as my situation changes, my type of minimalism will change. I think there are different flavors of it. What adds value to my life today may not add value to my life tomorrow. So I have to keep asking that question and being really deliberate. And, if I got married and had kids, I would live a different type of minimalist life than I would right now as a single guy.
I think every father is a minimalist for himself, because he has to basically give his kids everything. Dad never gets anything.
I'll eat when you guys are done.
Mom gets the new car.
Yeah.
Dad's still driving the same pickup truck that he's had forever. So every father out there is a minimalist. He just didn't know it.
Yeah. there was a and I don't know if this is part of like being a minimalist. There was a documentary on a woman who didn't want to leave a big footprint. So like every month, like with trash and stuff. And she had a family. I think there was a family of 4. And at the end of every month, the amount of trash that her family, put into a trash can fit in the palm of her hand.
Right.
Like, come on.
No, I don't.
Crazy.
I'm horrible. Like I've got.
See, even he doesn't believe it. He lives in Montana in a
And I'm going, like everything that she uses, she either reuses, and it just at the end of the month, that is her footprint in the. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm horrible. I have 6 animals. I've got dog poo bags and trash, and I don't know.
What was in her hand? What I mean,
a small, like a dog poo bag. Like that filled, and that was her trash for the month.
She had a handful of dog poo.
Did she have a little tiny trash can that she could wheel out as well?
Time to take the trash out.
Is that something too?
There's no question though. If you consume less, you are going to have less waste. Sure. Now, I certainly produce more waste than what would fit into my hand. Me too. But I consume far less, so I am definitely leaving a smaller footprint behind. There's no question about that. It wasn't the original reason why I did it, but it's a wonderful additional benefit.
So stress gone.
Not completely gone, but way, way, way less. I'm so much more calm. And then my friends remark, I can't believe how calm you are. You used to be so stressed out. You were working 80 hours a week.
How often do you work now? I mean, hours-wise.
I think we still work a lot, but it's a lot more in line with my values.
Do you still have an alarm clock?
Yes. Yeah. We have cell phones and.
Okay.
How many pairs of jeans do you have?
I own one.
One pair of jeans?
Yeah. I'm wearing them right now.
Yeah. You have one pair of jeans?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Well, thank God those jeans weren't dirty today, because they'd both be pantless right now. You realize that?
Yeah. I was kind of expecting that. I'm like, well, how minimalistic are we talking about here?
Come in loincloths.
Right. With a rabbit skin around their penis.
It's a really nice loincloth.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, we're on a 100-city tour right now. So to your question, how much do we work? We work a lot, man. I mean, we're
and the tour.
This is city number 24. Yeah.
You're selling the book, Everything That Remains. It's available at Amazon.com. You're going to make an appearance tonight at the Last Bookstore in Los Angeles at 7 o'clock. Yeah. And the Minimalists.com, you get a lot of people visiting. Is it they're following your lives? Is it question and answer? I mean, when they go to the site, you're helping people start this movement for themselves, or what?
Yeah, we just offer a little bit of advice on the website. If they go to the event tonight, I'll talk for like 15, 20 minutes. Josh will read from our new book for 15, 20 minutes, and then we do a question and answer, and then we'll do a book signing. But yeah, it's just about everyone has different needs. And
what was the coolest thing that you owned, but it was the most useless thing? You were like, it was so cool, but you're like, it's totally useless, and I have to get rid of it. But it was kick-ass cool.
Yeah, I mean, I had several big screen TVs, surround systems, and all that stuff, and I didn't use it a lot. Or when I did, I just pacified myself. I would like veg out for 8 hours in front of it, and I would always tell myself I'm multitasking too. Like, I'll just fold some laundry in front of the TV, and then 7 hours later, I'm drooling on myself with popcorn on my shirt, and realizing
laundry's not folded.
Right? No, there's popcorn on it.
You're right.
I gotta wash it again.
What's the hardest thing that you gave up that you're like, I kind of miss that?
I wouldn't say I miss anything. The hardest thing to give up, though, would be my identity. Like, I really was wrapped up into this. Like, if you ask me, hey, because what do you do when you meet someone? What's the first thing you ask them? Hey, what do you do?
Right.
You know, so like I would always have this great answer of, well, you know, I manage business, sales, and marketing for 150 retail stores for this particular company, and you know, it automatically puts me on this socioeconomic level. And like I was so wrapped up in that identity, letting it go was really difficult. I wish I could say it was as easy as just like, you know, renting a dumpster and throwing away all my stuff, but it was really a process.
Because if that's
so now you say I'm a minimalist when they ask what you do. You say, hey, I throw stuff away.
Or you say I'm a writer.
No, yeah. People ask me what I'll do. I'll be like, I live in Montana. There's a lot to do out there. I snowboard. I do a lot of hiking. I had one guy. He's like,
I'm a Billy Ray Cyrus body double. You ever get that? You kind of like Billy Ray Cyrus, doesn't he? No. He looks like Billy Ray. Oh, I swear, Billy Ray's a friend of the show. He has got that. I swear, it's like Billy Ray and Miley. Look at her haircut right there.
Oh my God!
I swear to God, you got Miley Cyrus haircut. It's like, it's like the whole family's here today.
When did this interview go wrong?
Oh my God. Theminimalist.com. Go get their book, Everything That Remains, at Amazon.com. Go see him tonight at the Last Bookstore in Los Angeles at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Joshua and Ryan, for coming in. Good luck with everything.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. Go to the website, Minimalist.com, and see how you can start cutting back on stuff today and becoming
just
a happier person.
Just a thing a day for 30 days.
We'll be right back. We are Heidi and Frank.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS. Now, to get the show in its entirety, on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.